When you are developing something, especially as a solo developer, try to make it work first, not to make it look well, because most of the feature you build from like day one, they will gone or be replaced or remade.
Could you explain what does game tester actually do? Because there is probably still this misconception that game tester basically just plays games all day, which everyone understands is pretty stupid. But what does that actually look like on day-to-day basis?
The more time you actually spend in the beginning planning the game, how it should look like in the end, the less time you will spend on the planning on the way.
If we now sort of zoomed out a little bit and look at how the industry and how game development looks like right now, do you think it's in general a good time for indie developers or a bad time? Welcome. Today I have a pleasure to be here with Davyd Polianchuk.
Hello.
David has been working as a professional game tester for many years, now switching to developing his own game, soon to be released this year. David, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Well, what about me? I was a game tester for a couple of years. Currently, I'm a software tester, basically. I switched a couple of years ago to the software testing, just because to work on my own game, and for me, like the game development is like really interesting thing, and just to not get bored, with all this stuff, because it will be like 12 hours a day of game development stuff if I would stay in the game testing. So yeah, that's actually why I switched. My journey was in a couple of AAA projects, so had some experience working in the big teams as well as a solo tester as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Gotcha. So could you explain what does game tester actually do? Because there is probably still this misconception that game tester basically just plays games all day, which everyone understands is pretty stupid. But what does that actually look like on day-to-day basis, or hour to hour?
Well, actually, it depends on seniority, I would say. Really depends on seniority and also what type of game tester you are, because there's not the only game tester title and that's it. There is localization game tester, functional game tester, and so on. Maybe some performance one as well. So yeah, like your day-to-day business is actually very impacted by the role you actually have, like a game tester. It's definitely not about just playing games. It's really stupid. It's more about imagine you have like the level to test, and you should do it hundreds of times in a row. So it's actually a hard work. Also, many game testers have this syndrome. I forgot the name actually, but it's actually some kind of the syndrome when you're starting not depressing, but it may
burnout?
cause yes, it may cause burnout, of course, because doing the same repetitive thing, it's like the game testers does it like most of all the roles. So it's quite a nice job, because for example, if you have different projects, you have different teams, you collaborate with everyone, and of course you may enjoy your first project just playing game actually for a couple of weeks, because when you start a new project you need to get familiarized with it, of course. So of course a couple of weeks, the first weeks, it's actually just playing the game, just knowing the stuff in the game, how things work, how they don't work, of course. And just exploring and keeping in mind some potential edge cases, other stuff you would like to test in the future. And it also happens that you may catch a couple of bugs during this playthrough. So yeah, it's definitely not about just playing games. It's about having tasks as the same way as developers or designers have. It's also about the collaborating with the team. Very oftenly, when you especially work in a AAA projects, you're not working alone. You're working like in a team of 20 QAs, or maybe a little bit smaller, maybe 10 QAs, with a couple of team leaders as well. So you need to adjust quickly. You need to collaborate a lot, actually. But yeah, it's fun, especially when you are testing some kind of cooperative games, let's say, because in that cases you are with other testers. You need to actually do some, let's say, cooperate testing. So
Gotcha. So you mentioned few different, I suppose, specialization within game testing. Could you bring that a bit closer?
yes, like the main one is a functional game tester. It's actually the role I had. It's about testing the functionality of the game, the main features, looking for bugs, exploratory testing, and other stuff. It's about making things break in the game, as would say, like just normally, so everyone understands. Um, because your mindset should be not about how I will play the game as a regular player will play the game, but actually you would need to think a little bit wider and out of the box many times. So that's most about the functional tester. You're just trying to really test every aspect of the game, like every aspect, every minimal like thing, and determining, of course, the prioritization of your task based on how the feature may be impactful for the players, or how many players will actually use this feature in the game. The second one is localization game tester. It's not about testing the gameplay itself, it's about testing the localization. It's about testing how the different languages behave on a different UI layouts and so on. So this one I have not experience with that, but like in this role I have experience with testing localization, but not especially in this role. But yeah, it may be also very interesting for some type of people who, for example, like to read a lot. So.
Okay, so generally, indie developers, or let's say some small teams listening to us, usually can't afford to have a dedicated game testing department. Usually the devs are the ones playtesting the game. Ideally, they have some fans as well. But I think it's very easy when you are testing the game over and over to start missing obvious things, obvious issues. So do you have any sort of a process or any recommendation that can help avoid these blind spots?
You mean for indie developers, right?
I would say for anyone, because anyone kind of can playtest their game, but specifically indies would be probably good.
Well, like for example, for a game developer who is coding something, is thinking more like about how the feature should work, about the I don't know, the main like how this code he's writing should strictly work out of the box, like just itself. But what tester will do when he opens the game, he will test especially the integration of this feature inside the like entire ecosystem of the game. So the main thing I think is to focus and try to think every time you want to playtest something. You should generally think like you just opened the game for the first time. Like, let's imagine you don't know how it works. You want to explore, because oftenly I see when I'm trying to test my game, what I'm developing, I'm just opening and I know what's about to happen when I click this button. But this mindset, like it makes me follow the same actual flow when I'm testing, just because I know how this stuff works. So what I trying to push myself every time I'm testing is to create some kind of illusion in my head that I'm opening it for the first time. For the big teams, not the solo developers, like there is also a UAT testing. It's called user acceptance testing. I believe in game testing as well. And what UAT testing is, it's about involving the actual users of your application. In our case, it's a game, to test it and just try it out. So they will accept or not accept. They may, for example, find bugs as well. Like it happens actually like 90% of the cases, because they just they just play like a players, you know.
Yeah. So you basically bring in people that haven't seen the game before and kind of let them test it.
Not like not exactly never seen it, but they are not involved in day-to-day businesses with the game, so they are not seeing it every day. They are not developing it. They are not testing it like the new features. You know, they are just, for example, let's say we have a new release each sprint, and in this sprint we have the release of a couple of features. So they just they may just test all the features and the game itself, like regression testing, let's say, of the entire
So I
game.
have sort of two connected questions with this. I mentioned sprint. I'm assuming that's sort of a some amount of time of development, some new features implemented, and combined with this, how do I know when the game is good enough or at a state where the playtesting will be actually helpful? And together with that, how do I know when that time is again? Because there is probably time that the game needs to be bare bones enough so people can play it, and then I keep on updating it, and I have these different segments in which I want to bring these playtesters, right?
Well, I will answer. Actually, I will try to answer mostly as game tester from perspective of game tester, not the indie one, because as indie game tester, when you actually test your game, you you're just thinking what you can also bring something nice to your game. You know, like okay, I can add this feature here and this feature here. Oh, it would be nice to add this one, and your schedule, like for your task, just becomes so big that the actual development of the game from the 1 year may become 5 years, like in my case, for example, you know. So yeah, that's what I would avoid. Just when you're testing, you're just testing and that's it. You have your tasks, you have the checklist what should be done, and you strictly following it and keeping it real, because trying to build the dream game, if it's especially if it's your first game or maybe the second one, as in my case, for example, it's really tough to make it like a dream game, you know. But yeah, just it should be very realistic and without any other ideas bringing on. But yeah, we can bring some nice ideas, but like not the entire game on the path. But when we are talking, yeah, when we are talking about the game tester, like the regular game tester who is working for someone, like in some game studio, what we need to focus is actually if it's well organized, of course, we have some kind of ticket that we need to test. It may be in some test management tools like Jira, for example, or maybe the some internal tool that was developed by a company, as I had such in some cases. So yeah, what we need is to have actually a list of tasks in the sprint. What is the sprint? The sprint is like a period of time. It's usually the same, let's say 2 weeks. So we have, for example, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and every sprint we are trying to schedule some features that we want to develop as a team and deliver to the user. let's say, a new UI for some feature, like for equipment panel, or it may be, I don't know, it may be also a big feature that will be shadowed in a couple of sprints. For example, I don't know, AI optimization or complete rebalance in the game. So for tester, in order to test it properly, you would need to, of course, estimate based on how the feature is big. You need to estimate how much time you will need to test it out. And to estimate it, you, of course, need some sort of documentation when the task is created. In this test management tool, the task is created with some expected results. So based on those expected results, how the feature will work, you actually start to asking questions like how it should work in this case, what will, like how it behave when I do this, and so on, because usually it's not described in the ticket. So
Gotcha. So if I understand you correctly, you basically say you should be always very clear to distinguish between when you are testing, talking more about indie devs now, about small team, when you are testing and when you are developing, that you shouldn't combine those two.
Well, I personally do. I always try to test something when I change it. So, for example, I made a couple of changes, like not the very small one, because for a very small one, I'm sure it will work, of course. But if it's something related to the logic and that it may impact some other stuff, yeah, it may take quite a lot of time to test everything stretched out of the box. But I would advise to do this because, as it was in my case at the beginning, I was like I'm a tester. I'm trying to test as minimal out of my work as I can. So I wasn't testing really, and it became a huge problem in the future when I started to realize that my features just crashing, and that's it. They're not working properly, or there are some such a bugs that I may even don't know where to find them. So
okay. So I mean, I kind of understand what the game testing is about. It used to be that people that didn't have a specialization would get into the game industry by starting as a game testers, and then perhaps they would move to different roles. Would you say that is still the case?
Yes, definitely. Like I have a lot of people I know personally, which I trying to convince to go to the game testing. Why? Because for the junior game tester, like the entry position, you would need a lot of passion for games, of course, and just some basic understanding and analytical thinking. That's it. Like, of course, like English, some other things like I know, education and so on. That's the regular stuff, but you are not expected to have some technical stuff like the junior game developer will should have. So yeah, it's easier.
Okay, so let's say I am someone who doesn't have a technical expertise but would like to work in games. How do I get this first game testing job?
Well, basically, I would advise to start, like, if you are playing games regularly on the day-to-day business, it will be easier because you have the understanding how different sort of games may work. On the interviews, the usual questions is how would you test this, and what type of games you played before, like what's the difference between those type of games and those type of games. Like, to pass the interview, it's like really important to have the understanding of different type of games. So if your background in playing games is poor, then you may bring something else to the table, like for example perfect English, or like some other out of the box thinking, and they will notice it during the interview. So it doesn't mean that if you are not playing regularly you can't become a game tester, because I know people that don't play like games at all, in their free time, just like, for example, a couple of days in a month, so it's not that much. But yeah, they actually working as game testers, so it's possible.
Gotcha. So kind of focusing on having a good variety. If you're trying to maximize your chances, then focusing on having a good variety in gaming with that experience, and then try to bring something other to the table, like out of the box thinking or whatnot. Okay, cool. So, Davyd, you work on your own game now. You mentioned that it's your second game. Could you tell us a bit about the first game and the game that you work on now, or do you not want to talk about your first game? Looks like you don't.
It's not like I don't want to talk about it. It's not like we have something to talk about. It wasn't released, of course. It's like it was made because after I was a game tester for like a year or maybe 9 months, I tried to make something on my own, and it was actually the work for my diploma and so. So yeah, it was like a Flappy Bird clone, but with a lot of like cool stuff, like a leaderboard, online leaderboard that people will try to have high scores. It's about like I had also the bombs to destroy pipes, like this some kind of cheat code, like something like that. So it was actually pretty relatively easy to do, because Flappy Bird is a game when you try to do some tutorials, it's like there is a lot of them for the Flappy Bird one. But my actual game I'm working on is like a kind of a different stuff, because I'm planning to make it commercially. And my first game, it was actually to try to become a game developer. So I made it for the position, but unfortunately from other reasons I was rejected, not because of the game developed. So yeah, it was like from that perspective I was trying to build my first game, and I actually like it was the trigger for me to start developing the second one, because I really enjoyed it. It was kind of cool. It was fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the first game.
Okay. So, listening to you, it sounds like there's many things that if you had done the same thing again, you would have done them differently. Could you try to kind of point them out?
The most important thing when you are trying to build the game as an indie dev, especially as a solo dev, because indie dev and solo dev is a little bit like solo dev, like 100% it's an indie dev, of course, if you're not a millionaire. But yeah, so if you're a solo indie game developer, especially, I would like suggest to plan the game, like actual features, like just open the Trello, open some kind of notes, like whatever, and try to write down every aspect of the game, like even like how the voice of the main character should like sound, or other stuff. Because the more time you actually spend in the beginning planning the game, how it will it should look like in the end, the less time you will spend on the planning on the way, because it's actually what I do right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm planning now on the go, and it's not the best solution, because you're starting to bring ideas which are definitely cool, but they are not very well suited with your ideas when you were building them, when you just have this idea you have now. So it's actually a problem, because you need to rewrite your ideas, like change them. And for example, from the first year of developing my current game, there is pretty much nothing left from what I was done in the first year. So that's the brutal reality of not planning.
Gotcha. So step one, have a proper plan.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so that makes obviously a lot of sense. How I wonder, or where I think a lot of developers can get stuck, is you obviously want to have a plan and you want to stick to the plan. But especially if you are a beginner, you haven't really made a game before, you are probably not that good at planning what the game will actually look like. So how do you kind of combine this reality of having a plan, but also your plan, finding out as you develop that your plan kind of sucks?
Let's well, in this case, it's like the maybe the first one step before even actually planning something is to trying to build as much like small games. Let's say like try to make the game in 1 month, not planning to make it in 1 year or even a half a year or a couple of months. Just some small and complete, like the really small idea that doesn't like require too much planning, so like for example, you can plan it in 1 day and then actually try to do it in a couple of weeks. And when you do your first game, you'll like pretty 100% you will fuck up it. So it's like, yeah, it's about experience. Like from your first game you are learning a lot of things, but that's not the maximum. When you're trying to build the second one, the third one, the fourth one, I mean the small ones, not even the games you will show to anyone, uh, then you're starting to realize how things work. And the different games, the more different the games you make, like during this learning process, I think it's better for the indie game developer, because you're not stricted to like one kind of genres. And when you're trying to build your own game as the final game, let's say you want to release the game, if you have different type of games made before, small games in different genres, it's relatively more easier to figure out which features you want to see in your game and what will like stand out, why this game will stand out from other games. So yeah, making the as much games before actually releasing your one.
Gotcha. So before committing to a commercial game, kind of build up the muscle, the experience by working on a lot of smaller games. Have you tried doing game jams on itch or something similar?
I always wanted to try, but I started my game, I think, pretty early when I was not that experienced. So actually, while I was building my game, I built a lot of mini games, let's say, and changed them. That's why this first year was more like a learning process. But unfortunately, I don't have experience in game jams. But yeah, maybe in the future.
Gotcha. It sounds like it would be sort of a natural advice. Like if you should practice by making a lot of small games, game jams kind of are external restrictions that help you with that.
Especially if you're planning to not be a solo developer, but maybe find a team in the future. Game jams are like extremely helpful, just to knowing the roles, of course, in the team for the future. And even if you want to be an owner, let's say, of the game, you want to find someone, you want to find people, if you don't want to be a solo developer. So in game jams you'll pretty much understand what different roles do.
Gotcha, makes sense. So now you're working on your game, and you mentioned you have a full-time job. That sounds like it's quite a lot to combine. So how do you manage that?
Well, it's tough because I'm a husband, I'm a father, so it's a lot of time. It just, for me, it became as my way to spend free time. For example, you want to it's like a meme, a question: do you want to develop a game or to play one?
Gotcha.
in my case, even if I really want to play something, I'm trying to convince myself that I just need to start. When I launched the project, launched let's say Unity, the editor, it's from that moment became like it's the same for me as playing the game. So it's actually interesting.
Makes
Yeah,
a lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah, I think if it was not like that interesting for me, I think it just won't work with having a full-time job, like a family, and so on. So
Yeah. So, as any person, you have some strengths, you have some weaknesses. So every developer does. So, how do you try to deal with that while working solo?
well, it's the tough question actually, because like I know my weaknesses, but it's not that I know how to deal with them properly. Unfortunately, like I said, it's like I know how to deal with them, but I not really like can to deal them because it's more like psychological stuff, I think. And the main weakness is like like I said, I'm trying to make my dream game, and that's the problem because it's like I don't have a studio, I don't have anyone, so it's a really big problem for me because the game development like time it's really huge right now. It's like a couple of years I already do this, and only now I'm nearly close to some kind of a demo, you know. So it wasn't like what I was planning at the beginning. So that's my weakness, I would say. And by this time, I know how to deal with that, but it's not that I can much do with that.
So it sounds to me like, and feel free to correct me, that you are working on your sort of a dream game now. But if you would advise
Yeah.
anyone else, you would tell them not to work on their dream game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you want to release something, I think it's better approach to try to release something on Steam, let's say, first, and not to make your first release to be your dream game, because like it's a really big risk to spend, like, for example, 5 years and have just a game that as average, you know, because on average indie game released on the Steam makes like less than $500, I think.
Average doesn't even recuperate the fee, which is $100. But
Yeah,
it depends. It depends how we look at the data. But most games released
yeah,
don't do particularly well.
yeah.
Okay, so how would you look in that case at the deadlines? Because deadlines are probably useful for anyone, but kind of goes back to that conversation about planning. It may be very difficult to have a deadline if your plan is changing, and the more junior, the more
Yeah.
less experience you have, the more is your plan sort of a changing.
Yeah, that's why I'm now what I'm trying to do, and it really speeded up the process. When you are developing something, especially as a solo developer, try to make it work first, not to make it work like look well. Because what I was trying to do at the first time I started, I was trying to make UI look cool, you know, like those buttons. Oh my gosh, like it's not really work, because in the end, when you will polish the game in the future, or maybe even just like changing the code and stuff, features in the process, you will definitely like 99% that most of the feature you built from like day one, they will gone or be replaced or be remade. So the best thing is to make VIP product first, like from my perspective, like meaning minimal viable product.
MVPs.
Yeah. Uh, like what I'm trying to do now is actually to just make a prototype, this minimal viable product, and then when I see that, for example, feature works well, I'm just leaving it alone, not trying to do it great to work it perfectly, because in the end I have in my plan, for example, on Trello, the big task, which is called revamp, for everything. So like game polishing, actually. So before you will release a demo, you will definitely make a regression testing a lot of times, trying to build things up so they working as you expect.
So
yeah.
You work solo. Have you considered teaming up with someone or maybe hiring someone?
Yeah, like a couple of times I had the opportunity to cooperate with someone, but unfortunately, because of like how much time I have to spend, like let's say for example, I am planning to cooperate with someone, but I don't know how much time the game will take to develop. Like for example, now I'm trying to do this year, to release it this year, but like it's not 100%. Like something may happen. I don't have, of course, as a solo developer, I don't have any reasonable amount of money to pay someone on a regular basis. And even if I have some, it's a little bit risky, especially with your first release, because you may hire a team. Even if you do the grade, like the cost of development may be such high that you like actually wasn't planning to let's say even earn this amount of money or other stuff. So like yeah, from my perspective, in my case, I'm not hiring anyone because it's a little bit risky, not only for me but also for people that I will try to involve in my project. I will try to release it as a solo developer, and then if I succeed, of course I will make the next game, or maybe keep up with this one to make it even better. And in this case, of course, I will find someone, because making like your dream game as a solo, it's really tough. Yeah, and another small reason, it's like a challenge, for myself, just to try make something on your own and see where it goes.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like a little bit. I understand that this is also something you want to do solo, and I think that's a perfectly valid reason. But it also sounds like, if we get back today, what you suggested on the start is that you should have a plan. If you had a plan, it would be probably easier to onboard more people.
Definitely, like some kind of game design document, or even like class, like just a proper plan, just some kind of board where you are planning something, is like all the features. There is a lot of nice tools that can really make your project planning look nice, not only for you, because you of course will know where to find different things in your plan, but also for other people.
So, if we now sort of zoomed out a little bit and look at how the industry and how game development looks like right now, do you think it's in general a good time for indie developers or a bad time?
I think, like, I'm not an expert, of course, but I think it's the best time I've ever seen to work on your solo game, or like an indie game, that like was ever, because a huge amount of game titles, like I will not name all of them right now, but there is a lot of a lot of games that had succeed as a solo game developers were developing them, not without publisher, of course. It's like sometimes they were publishing on their own, but like I think it's like the best time now, because we have like AI evolving as well, and even the designer who don't know the coding stuff, and as well tester. When I was trying to start, of course there was no AI. Like it was actually just it was answering some kind of questions how to fry an egg, and that's it. So that was the maximal capacity it may bring for you in your in your project. So yeah, now it's completely changed. I think now you can, like as we see with Google, you can simply paste one prompt, a good prompt, of course, and it develops an entire game. Of course, it's messy, it's buggy, it's completely unoptimized, but like just take a look where we were a couple of years ago. Like if someone said that AI will do the entire game, okay, even if it's a game where it's a walking simulator, even this would like blowing mind. So I think it's the best time now because there's also a lot of things I see on such platforms as LinkedIn and other stuff. Like for example, investors looking for some. I even saw a couple of posts that investors only looking for some indie developers or solo developers who are trying to make games in such kind of a genre. So like yeah, it's a nice time.
Yeah, it's I agree definitely. It's a time when we have a much faster increased production per one person. One person can do so much more now because of engines and LLMs, and at the same time we have a pretty much free distribution with Steam, where you can really just put it up there and anyone can buy it. So that's definitely cool. It's interesting to hear that you see some investors also looking for just indie devs. It makes a lot of sense because it's probably going to be much cheaper to fund one small indie dev, and you could actually get there quite a strong return.
Yeah, because if indie game succeeded, it may bring like the same amount of money as AA game, let's say, or even a AAA game. So it's definitely it's like still it's a roulette, of course, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, I mean that's how investors work. They shoot 10 rounds and one of them hits. Right, that's what they do. Okay. Where do you think this is going? Do you think how is it going to look like in 5 years, maybe 10 years?
Well, I think like in a couple of years, this Steam may actually just joking, but I think Steam may bring a little bit more rules into game publishing, because if everyone will start to make their own games, the amount of games released on the Steam, or let's say other platforms as well, I think it will be so huge because AI evolving. Like just for example, if in a couple of years it will be possible to make a even small game, but with your unique features, let's say, and publish it and make money from it, it will be like just a spam, I think. So the actually the market I think will just adapt to it, and anyway, people will try to find something that is built with some love, some time spent on it. So yeah.
Do you think that maybe it can lead rather, instead of, I suppose, restrictions against publishing the games, rather to improve the discoverability algorithm? Because that's kind of what we see on social media, right? It's on YouTube, for example, it's full of spam, but YouTube is pretty good at delivering the products people want to those particular people. So perhaps we can see something similar on Steam.
Yeah, definitely. That's the case as well.
Okay, so you've mentioned multiple times AI, so you are probably using it a lot for your development. So how do you find it, and what do you find it most helpful?
Well, the most helpful for me is the ADE, of course. I'm using, for example, Cursor a lot because first, it's free. Their model is paid, of course, Cloud like Sonnet, but the tool is free and it's integrated, and it's really nice because like it can index all your entire game, like index all your code you have. You can add like memories and some other stuff about your project, some just the description, and let's say you want him to you want it, sorry, to develop in some kind of a style. Like for example, for every feature you need to document file in the end that will tell you how to set up everything in the editor, let's say. So it will bring and do it even on the auto model, on the free auto model, like completely fine. It's not what it was like a couple of years ago, like when it was released. It was like a little bit messy from my experience, but yeah, it's really useful. About other AI tools, I'm not trying. I'm trying, not trying. I'm just not using tools that will help me with any kind of a content or any kind of features that player will see in the game. So let's say some kind of art creation or other stuff like sounds and so on, animations as well. I'm trying to do everything manually without any AI involved because from my perspective now, like I don't really want to take jobs from the game designers and so on. And the second is because I think it really noticeable when something is made with AI. Like for example, especially now, let's see what will be in a couple of years, of course.
Gotcha, makes a lot of sense. So you focus really on help with coding. Do you use it for any things like organization? Perhaps you mentioned that you use probably Trello or something for organization. Nothing there?
Like Trello I'm using, but not the AI tools. Like not at all. Just for development.
So you use just the cursor. Have you tried any of the, suppose, in-editor assistants?
Nope.
Okay, gotcha.
It would be nice to try maybe, but I'm so busy with like the development that I don't even have time to explore them. So
makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Where do you think it will look like in a couple of years? You mentioned that perhaps it will be possible that just one person with a text prompt is going to be able to generate the games. Do you think that's the main direction it's going in, or is it going to be something else?
Like when we are talking about like indie development, of course the AI will help massively in the development. As I mentioned before, I think like even like designer or even the person who never actually tried to become a game developer of any role, like designer, tester, or other roles. I think even the just the person who knows how to work with a computer and how to paste some prompts for AI will be able to make some games. Like not the best games, of course, but still the case. But for like professional growth and other stuff, we can deny that like AI is like not the nice to have, but it's must to have. Like when I'm looking for like some job opportunities and other stuff, like for example, I was searching for a job a year ago, and like a couple of weeks ago, for example, just going through some job posts. So it's really like now AI, like using AI, using it well, using it with good prompting and so on. It's like a must-have now. So we can't deny, even if like we don't want to work with AI. I think we just must now in the development and also in the testing as well, because let's say I want to create some test plan for the game feature. I can briefly describe it for AI, of course, if it's not forbidden by your contract. So of course testers should be also careful with that and use only tools, AI tools that are allowed in the company. But let's say I want to make some test plan. I can simply describe a little bit the feature and the test plan, and the AI may bring even test cases, like edge cases, some kind of edge cases that I would not even remember myself, for example. Uh, so it's really a nice tool, but still I'm avoiding to use AI much in my work because uh, still it can't like know the product as much as you do. Especially as a tester, you need to think as user of this product, not only how the code works, how the feature, like how the model will pop up and so on. It's about the feeling. For tester also, especially for quality assurance engineer, let's say, it's really important to also not just looking for bugs and testing if the feature is good, like well developed. It's really valuable, and also on the higher positions, like for senior roles, for example, looking for people who just also trying to like make sort of vision of the product they are testing, because from the user perspective, because feeling the product is not about like just clicking through it, you know. So that's also important, what AI doesn't do now.
So, how do you think the AI will look like in the game testing specifically? Because from listening to it, it almost sounds like we are separating two separate functions of a tester. One is to get a feel of the product, to kind of give feedback on how it feels like to play this, maybe some more creative feedback, and the other one is just to figuring out bugs. So it sounds like the AI could be quite useful for the second one.
Yeah, I think like the automation may have a huge huge impact there, because like for example, when the AI have access to the code, it may build some automation tests, let's say, or even like write some kind of a bot that will test the game, that will click through it and so on. So it's really impactful, but the end and acceptance, like the main acceptance of the feature that it's released, that it's good to go, it should be 100% manually tested anyway. So
Gotcha. Sounds like the AI could handle a lot of this, sort of those first few tests to cover the obvious issues, and then the human playtester can do the final testing.
yes, for example, now in software testing, and I think in the game testing as well, I'm personally using AI, and people I know from the testing as well, they are using AI to help with the test automation, to make it much faster, for example, to automate things, of course. And yeah, it's really impactful, because when you have test automation for your project, if you're not a solo, but even if you're a solo and making the project 5 years, I think it may like really paid off of investing like a couple of months to write test automation. But it's anyway, you need to keep it up to date and so on. So yeah, AI definitely makes it easier now.
Gotcha. Okay. Where can we learn more about you?
I don't really know because like yeah, I'm posting on LinkedIn regularly about my game. So if anyone is interested, like feel free. I'm planning also to start some marketing. I hope in the near future. So
cool. So we will definitely link your LinkedIn so people can go down to descriptions and find it. Once you have a Steam page up, then that's probably the best place to hear about your game.
Definitely. I don't have even a title yet, because like I have some ideas, but unfortunately they are not like yet well done, I think. I need to rethink them because, like, for example, one game name idea is a little bit difficult, I think, to remember. Just simply remember the title, and so on. So yeah, I think it should be something simple, and of course, not used because it's a really problem now to try to even create the game title.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to leave the listeners with any message? Anything you would recommend?
Yeah, like what I recommend is if you have something in mind you wanted to start doing or to create something, of course, just stop thinking and start doing it because it will like the best time to start doing something is yesterday. So
Yeah, the second best time now.
yeah,
All right, and have a plan, like we have established here already.
yeah. Start planning. Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. You can head to the description for all the links and have a good one. Bye.
Yeah. Have a good day. See you.